Hello everyone, welcome back to Anno 800 Megacity, welcome back to Crown Falls, our fair capital right now with not the happiest population, a bit of a worker shortage, but overall on a very good way of getting to investors. Electricity with the last episode is now provided to my engineers. Those people like that a lot. The only thing we now need is a few more light bulbs. Unfortunately, we are a bit short on that. We do produce the light bulbs now in Tester at a steady rate of 4. However, it's not being produced right now, and I can already imagine what the problem is. Coal. At the moment, we still have not received Tobias, or he has not arrived yet, but he's on his way, right? And we will then be able to use both of these orders here, coal and iron, to the maximum, as we already have enough sewing machines on top of that. And with that, hopefully, that problem gets solved eventually. Now, some shares have been purchased. Some of you have been pointing that out, and I purchased them back, and it shouldn't be a big problem. We have some coin available, so I might also consider purchasing more shares once I have the influence, and influence will no longer be a problem soon now with the investors. We have 4,000 farmers. I would like to use my timber to upgrade more, so especially here, right, in my future industry zone as well, I would like to have more workers, as it just makes sense. So let's just upgrade all of them here closer to the harbor area. That's a lot of them, and with that we also of course solved the problem. And here definitely also that is the center, of course, so these buildings should all have only the highest quality that we have then, right? So these should be skyscrapers at some point. Right now they're just meager worker residences. Let's just upgrade them as well. We have the timber. Consumption wise we should be fine. I say we should be fine because of course you never really know. Let's also upgrade that bunch there. And these guys here, that's the marketplace. The marketplace is over here and here, so let's go ahead and have some paved roads all the way down to increase the range of that, of course. And also here the pub and this marketplace definitely should get their range extended then all the way. And this should actually, there it is, already net us the maximum. Perhaps these guys there still. But other than that, I think paving the road is just always a very good thing. And there you go. Now we can upgrade all of them as well here. Just going to take a short second. And there you go, all of them. And with that, we have workers. What is going on? That is just Sean passing by. The ceasefire has ended with Sean. Let's just flatter him. That was out of my heart, that flattery. Why are you not accepting? I'm not going with a ceasefire there though, because that would just be a ridiculous price. He needs to propose the ceasefire in order for it to be affordable for us, right? And I can't do that at this point. Alright, so let's just quickly check it out. My fleet is still active down here, no props. Tobias in 2 minutes. And the worker problem also solved for now. Next thing on my agenda is the harbor area. So right now we are using the docklands and we're using the trade post over here. It's a bit confusing because we have now 2 docking stations for my ships. And especially here, this is going to be a decorative harbor and a tourist harbor, right? So we have the public mooring already. So I would like to move now my trading post to the other side. This cost me 165,000 credits. It is expensive, but it is worth it. We can now move it around here, and this will only cost me some 16,000, right? But it just costs so much because we moved it to the other island itself, or to the other side of the island right away. This, of course, is going to be part of the docklands here, right? So I would like to combine that into one big industrial harbor. All the ships now go to that side here, and we will adjust. And this one, yeah, well, this one is now a tourist harbor, a tourist port. Going to be one, right? We still have lots of fishermen here. That's also going to change over time now, and with that paving the way for more future infrastructure, because only tourist infrastructure will be on the other side, and well, industry infrastructure will be on that side here. Next up, we have our fur coats. We got the item in the last episode. Let's build the trade union. This one will still cost me 0 influence. I think from now on it does cost me though 20 influence. It's going to be expensive. And we do have an item here that I got in the last episode, and that is the costume designer. And this one, instead of cotton, it processes wool and not wood, of course. Wool it is. And with that, we can activate it for all of those fur dealers. Let's have this one also here in this area. And with that, we just solved a major problem, which is huge quantities of cotton that we will need to get over to Crown Falls. We have a cotton production. I'm going to keep it active though, because we're going to need cotton for some other minor products later on. But for now, we solved the big demand of that. It's just now furs and wool And wool is something we produce over here. Let's quickly check it out, how much wool we have with that now. The demand, of course, is huge at this point. It's at 76 tons, we produce 54 tons. So around 20 tons we do need to counter that. That would lead to 10 more sheep farms. However, we're going to do this a bit differently because we also have huge quantities of grain in now and we don't need to have that many sheep farms. I'm not going to use the sheep farms for my docklands for a while. And in that case here, I would also not like to have them here forever, of course, because this is going to be a special district later on, which is prominent location there. So in that case here, we are going to build those sheep farms now over here on the mountaintop, right? So overlooking the whole city then with a warehouse in the center of it all. Because these guys will need grain. We have plenty of grain. And they need to have a direct connection then to the warehouse. So there you go with the first sheep farms here. And all of them have then also their respective silo. That is going to boost their output further. Let's actually build all of them. Plus the silos. This also finishes our farmer quest here, by the way. So now we just need to deliver the grain as the next mission. Let's actually upgrade those warehouses then as well. And as we can see, once the grain is in, the sheep production is going up to 200% of its original production chain. This will now bring us in a lot of wool. We are producing 120. And this, because that of course is way not finished, we can expand on that now. This allows us to get rid of the sheep farms here in this area, right? So let's get rid of those for now. The framework knitters, of course, at the moment we can still keep. No problem. Yeah, with Sean. Hopefully he proposes ceasefire at some point. He has to. Medium high. Yeah, I'm not lucky with that right now. Let's purchase him. Let's pay him a gift. He likes that a lot.
You're flourishing.
Oh, by the way, also, my ship should have arrived at Eli. There it is. Because we definitely will have more items here. At least 2 items for now. Soap factory boost with 30% because of course we will continue to further produce more soap for our docklands. And also the brick factories and concrete factories do produce extra steel beams on top of their other production. So that is a nice boost that I would like to have. Especially with the skyscrapers, steel beam consumption will be really high, in really high demand. Overall, I'm happy with that. We can continue now with hopefully investors, right? We should have everything for that available. The fur coats are still lacking a bit. We should definitely build us a few more hunting cabins. We do have them all lined up here nicely. We have space for another one here, right to the warehouse. And yeah, also on the other side here, there we can definitely squeeze in one more. And also here one more. Both of them with 100%. This leads to a total production of fur now of 18. Oh, wait a second. 18... Yep, that's with the new ones already. And in Crown Falls, we have a consumption of 28. So, of course, in Crown Falls, I think, yep, it is, of course, boosted by electricity, leading to a higher consumption. But it's fine, of course, because it's really cheap, the fur, right? So, why not just go ahead and build us a few more of them? They're really cheap workforce-wise. They're really cheap maintenance-wise. So, there is no reason for me why I should have this on low production. With that, we just might need a few more people in Shodix overall, right? So, there's a ruin, 3 ruins, so that will help out a lot. We could also have a commute pier here in the area then soon. But for now, I think here, if I pave the road to the marketplaces, we can extend the reach then just fine here. Have this block there. And then for Shodix, few more people that can live in this area. To provide. These are all hunters that are coming in here right now. Yeah, and with the fix of that, we have everything available now. So these people will want to upgrade. Of course, we are going to start here in the center right away. So here we are going to see the first investor buildings now. Go, 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 go.
Only a sheep would bar and nod.
And with that, investors live in Crown Falls. We get some whopping 44 influence right out of these. But of course, we continue.
A new era of peace and prosperity for Empire.
Until we're running out of wood.
Just so you know,
Embassy is also available now. So a couple of mods are kicking in with the investors. And also a lot of other mechanics
A new
Plus, we reach the
milestone.
age of big business with those juicy investors. Let's go ahead and also assign them a rather bricky color. And with that, the goods are coming in. Of course, the money is exploding right away. So these few investors already pay us 15,000 in the metropolis now of Crown Falls. Another very cool item is Dario the Mechanical Engineer. Bicycle factories, sewing machine factories, sewing machine factories, and the tools workshop produce pocket watches and gramophones in addition to only using steel instead of iron. I would like to take this one too, even though it is expensive, but it's going to totally pay off. Meanwhile, we have a bit of timber. Let's continue upgrading a few more farmers, especially down here. So that this whole area is now full of workers, and I think over here we do still have some room as well. 1,400 farmers, that is okay. We can further reduce this, as farmers is really not that important anymore to us. Also, our, well, sexy investors, they have new needs. One of them would be, oh, beside the light bulbs once more, one of them would be the member club that we need to provide. And we should provide this ASAP. We have a school here. Investors are so rich, they don't even need schools anymore. So also, it really doesn't fit in at some point, right? We have the school beside all these high sophisticated buildings there. So let's get it away. Let's get it down here into this area. Let's get rid of some of those farmers and just move those workers over to this district. Like so. And then we have a bit of space here, just beside the tracks, for a school. And we can move the school all the way over here. So it still provides for this whole area, right? It even extended its reach now to those guys here that have a school now, finally. And with that, we have that space available for a nice members club that I would like to build right away. Because it's providing not only happiness, but also some money there. And it's fitting in just perfectly into where the school was before.
Worthy of the plaudits.
At least I like this, and happy investors are good paying investors. Money is also going up a bit because of that, but happiness is the way more important thing here. By the way, the investors, let's quickly check it out. Their lifestyle needs. For wealth, they would like to have some furs. This would actually pay us a bit more, but other than that, they don't have the most of it, right? Some tapestries and bear fur in the future, but of course, the mail will be the most important thing for these guys. With the additional influence, I would like to continue purchasing some shares to further boost our income. So Miss Hunt's main islands, especially here, are interesting for me. As well, Bente. Yeah, Bente has a good share overall, a share value there. And we do have the influence finally to build some more cargo ships. Let's build 2 more. Another thing, what we can see is it's getting rather crowded in my industrial port, so it is time to also change this a bit. We do have the sail shipyards there. I'm going to keep one, but I don't need the other one, right? So let's just remodel that a bit. This one is then in my my district here where it's also receiving electricity, so for further building, putting it expanding its output. Then we have the repair crane that I would definitely like to keep a bit more central, so any kind of ship that passes by gets repaired automatically while unloading goods. And then we're going to remodel at least this side here a bit. We do have these storage depots there already, so let's go ahead and move them a bit further over to this side. Like so. Then we can use another one that has this look there. I like this look a lot. Actually make a bit of a distance, bit of room in here for a nice path. And then we can have these piers right on these. I think it makes just a lot more sense to have it right here. Let's also build us another one. Because it fits to that skin there, right? And this looks like it belongs to that. I think this is a bit too close though for clippers. So they will definitely clip in, you get it? Clip inside of each other, those clippers. But for now, it's fine. Let's actually get us one more slot, right? So they have all a bit more space in between. This makes more sense to me now. And then we can have a third one here so that this is a bit more symmetrical. Then we have the repair crane. Let's have the repair crane, yeah, out here. And then we have the trade post, the docklands. But this looks a bit more organized now, and we can then just expand on that. Also, of course, using the docklands for that. Speaking about the docklands, another very important good that we have here is the loading wharf. I haven't built this one yet, but it is really important for speeding up the trading of Tobias. And by now, since we are importing and exporting a lot of goods, it just makes sense to, yeah, just increase that size. We can add these right here, and it also makes sense to me to have them in between here, right? So we can kind of like build it like so, and then just connect the piers with that as well. So that looks like one wall, where in between we have them now, and each one of them reduces the loading times of 50% for the local ships that are docking here. And bear in mind, we do have, of course, a certain amount of loading speed. Right now we're loading 6 tons per second, and we want to increase that size, right? And we can do this with the loading wharfs. The docklands even is just at 4 tons. So a few more loading wharfs here. We can still build 5 more if I want to. A bit more here makes sense to further increase that, so the dockland also have 6 tons now, and we speed up the whole thing. Tobias is trading for another 10 seconds, and I think, yeah, Soap has reached a level epic, so this one has increased, and also, of course, increased in value then with that. And what I can see is that sewing machines is rather low. This should not be the case at all. And these here we are not even importing at the moment anyway, because we are getting that, of course, over to Catester. This one is a bit problematic though. So at least for the sewing machines, we should check it out why that's the case. Of course, it's down to 8. That means only 160 tons for 20 minutes. This is something we definitely need to change. I think we're pretty full on steel. That's going up at a great speed now that Catester is also working at higher qualities. And then we have the sewing machines here. There's already some items now coming over to boost them. But of course, the main item here will then also be our electrical power plant. And for that, we have the tracks then going here from the train network. And we will definitely have then, yeah, one of these power plants right here. Let's just check it out. This will reach all of them, right? Because, of course, we're going to pave the way to that one. And that, perfect, also reaches this one on the other side. And with that power plant, we have then the whole area here electrified on top of everything. Let's move this like so. Because this here, of course, is the tracks that I've already laid out, that are going then all the way down here, and here, and probably here. We do need to move these fields there a bit, because of course here we do make that connection, right? So I can take the whole thing like so, and just stack it on top of each other. That would be the easy way, and we're doing it the easy way. For simplicity's sake, let's get rid of the lumberjack huts there for now. Just easier to do it like that. All the way to this point here. There we have then the entry point then right into my power station, right? And we're going to have that wall here on either side, even though it's the industrial zone, so, you know, it's already not the most beautiful zone than ever. It should be fine. And with that, we can still advance that wall door over to this side. And this now goes all the way to the piggies. Let's get rid of one of the pig farms, because I would definitely like to make the connection here. There's the ceasefire, so he actually only demanded 100,000. We definitely will do this, of course. And there is also the connection now made here with our general network, right? So the main network. This one, by the way, is then also going to be part of the main network, because of course the city is going to expand into this area at some point. And once more, also for these crossings there, very important that we do keep some gates then in between as well, at least until we make this one an avenue, which is also going to happen at some point later. That one, and then this one, where we basically can actually just copy it like so. There you go. Make the crossing. And that's it. And then it goes right to this. And let's actually do this. Let's build it. The tracks have been built already. And of course, with every wall that we build, we also get a bit of attractiveness, right? So it's always helping us out there a bit, leading to a quaint metropolis that we are right now. With that, it's finished. So more trains, please. Here, we do need to make a bigger exchange so that the trains can go either way. And we should also make these exchanges from time to time, like here. and like here. So they switch tracks if they need to, right? And here it's going to into a single track then for this last passage there, but that's fine. Missing tracks to the harbor. Seems like I made a mistake there somewhere, but it... there it is. They're not connected. Now they are. Now with that, of course, electricity. These sewing machine factories here will really boost in power. So we are doubling their output. For that, we will also, however, need... yeah, more wood and more steel. Steel is already coming from Catester. Wood is not. I think wood, we are at 150% already. For wood, we have a surplus right now, barely. Barely any surplus there, to be honest. So we do need to provide more wood. Let's use the Crown Falls area for now, which of course is later going to be a big palace area once we can afford it. But for now, I'm going ahead with lumberjack huts only. We might as well also get the wood in just from the docklands, because it is really taking up a lot of space and wood is so cheap that you can easily import that with the docklands.
The people celebrate your leadership.
There you go. A whole new wood area for now in this most beautiful location. Another important item, perfumer prunella. Very expensive, but it completely negates the attractiveness penalty of soap factories, and instead of tallow it processes wood. A very powerful item, especially when you focus your industry and your docklands export industry on soap. Very important that we have received this one. With that, we are totally out of money though. We have a good balance of 50,000 at the moment. Let's get those items back home, because it's going to take a while before I can get some I can purchase some items again. And Mother Goose on its way with some very powerful items that are very helpful for the industry.
The epidemic spreads across your city.
And since we have some materials, let's go ahead and also upgrade the next batch of artisans to engineers. Especially here in the center, there we have some more. There we have some, and these guys. So far, our new industrial port can also take every ship that comes in, right? So there's no bigger queue, especially also, of course, since loading times are rather short with that. Now, another very important step has been made. Investors has been reached. The industrial port is taking shape, and we continue onwards here in the next episode. Stay tuned.